Okay, so I don't have a lot of storage left on my phone because of my holiday last week, so I'm going to try and smash through this in 15 minutes because that is what it is saying I've got on my phone to record. So let's go for it. As I say, I was away in Lanzarote last week. It was absolutely fabulous. This is one of my new treats that I bought. Check out Luciola Creations on TikTok and Instagram. I got a really cute custom bracelet and this gorgeous necklace. A little bit of lava stone there, of course. Got to have a little bit of lava. It was an amazing trip. I love traveling. I travel alone and I absolutely love it. Had an amazing time. Went on a boat, visited more of Cesar Manrique's properties. He's a really interesting chap if you want to look him up. I do not have time to explain him right now because I am working on a deadline because I have no phone memory. But anyway, while I was away, I was inspired for a new episode. Because obviously we've done a bit of shadow work now. You probably realise there are people in your life that you probably don't want them to be there anymore. There's a lot of people will sort of glom on to your energy. I have made a list of the people. So people like, energy vampires, people who you like literally physically feel exhausted after conversing with them. Negative people, the kind of people who just literally never have anything nice to say. You could present them with, a big shiny diamond and they'd be like, oh, it's nice, but I prefer emeralds. Like one of those people, people who are just plain disrespectful. There will be people who take the piss out of you and your kindness. That was kind of where I was inspired because I am dealing with that issue right now myself. I've got somebody in my life who has massively misrepresented themselves and who they are as a person. Unfortunately, our finances are intertwined and yeah, they are not holding up their end of the deal at all. And yeah, that's really bothering me. So that's something I'm having to deal with right now. Users and abusers, I think they would come under that heading as well because yeah, that's not okay to use somebody for their money. And assholes. What is an asshole, you may ask? An asshole is the kind of person who continually has the exact same fucking problems, right? And continually moans about the exact same fucking problems. And he's continually asking you for advice about the same fucking problems, but never, ever doing anything about their situation. I actually have a personal rule. You are allowed to moan at me about the same thing twice. If you are not taking affirmative action after that time, I don't want to hear about it. Is it cruel? Possibly. But you can't just moan about things. Like you've got to take action, including when people are taking the piss out of you. You can only give so much, and to be honest, why should you be giving all the time to people? It's nice to be kind, it's nice to be generous, but when that's a one-way street, you need to get yourself off that street onto a new street, baby. You really, really do, because people that I have, on that short list there, these people are the kind of people that there is nothing you will ever be able to do to make them a tolerable person. No amount of kindness, no amount of help will make them a tolerable person because that's just not who they are. And they will continue to move the goalposts of life. So you are forever feeling like you are chasing behind them because like, what the fuck is happening now? You don't need them. You don't need these people in your life. So you just need to get rid of them. And, people will be like, oh, it's a lot easier said than done. What if these are family? What if it's this? What if it's that? I could not give a flying poop. I have cut off family members. They handed me the scissors. That's really not my problem. But it's something you really need to consider for your own self-preservation, because how long are you going to let these people just keep taking and taking and taking from you? Where is your limit? Because oftentimes we end up in these situations where we just kind of, it's an everyday occurrence and we just don't see it happening. And then all of a sudden you sit there and you realise, actually, what the fuck? When you've dug a mountain and they've dug a little molehill, like you are not putting in the same effort at all. And not that I am saying that friendships, relationships, etc. should be an exchange of, power, that kind of thing. But there is a certain amount of respect involved if somebody is literally taking the piss out of you. Somebody is literally taking the piss out of you financially, taking the piss out of you emotionally. just truly terrible people, who are just sucking the life from you. That's okay to get rid of them. You don't have to feel bad about that. Why would you feel bad about that? That's society's conditioning. You don't need to be feeling bad about that. And actually, it can go one of two ways, I've noticed in life. These people are either really tricky to fucking shake off, like a limpet, or they will notice your small changes in attitude and choose to withdraw themselves. Of course, there is a third option, which is go and yell in someone's face that they're a twat and then walk away. And that would have been my response probably 10 years ago, but I don't do that anymore because it is a waste of my energy. It's all about saving your energy for yourself because it's yours. So I find withdrawing is the best method. So I just won't bother with you anymore. I won't reach out. And if they are the kind of selfish person who only contacts you when they want something, that's a really easy out because you'll find they don't contact you for ages. And then when they do, it'll be for something they want, but it'll probably be an embarrassing amount of time, like 6 to 12 months later, where you're clearly not going to help. So that's nice and easy. Sometimes it can be as simple as just a change, like I say, changing your own behaviour. So if you are around a lot of people who are negative all the time, the kind of people who, if they meet for coffee, all they're doing is talking about other people, talking negatively about other people. They've got nothing nice to say. Choose not to participate in those conversations. Just they'll notice. And when they ask, you just say, I just don't want to talk negatively about people. And they'll either get really pissy because you've hit a home truth there and they're really angry about it, or they will just choose not to hang around with you anymore. Or sometimes, which is quite nice, they'll choose to change their attitude too, which is amazing. So there's definitely a way to do that. Another way to do it as well, if you feel awkward about turning down people's invitations and stuff, is to just literally make yourself too busy to be available. Make yourself unavailable. If you are busy trying to improve your life, you probably are going to be unavailable. You might be at the gym, you might be spending time working on projects at home, you might be getting back into arts and crafts. You genuinely might be too busy for these people. And if you're the kind of person who doesn't feel comfortable, saying, oh, I'm busy when you're not busy, make yourself busy and you're not lying. And again, these people will just fall by the wayside because they will find somebody else to glom onto and suck their life out of. So that's fine. You can make little boundaries as well. Put your phone on silent at night so these people can't get you. These people who, they ring at 3 o'clock in the morning with their problems because they're drunk. If your phone's on silent, they can't get you. It's as simple as that. So many people take so much shit from other people. There is an option in life where you could just block people. The amount of times, I have dealt with somebody who's in emotional turmoil because somebody is messing with them emotionally, and I just say to them, why don't you just block them? Why have they even got access to you at this point? Why can they even access you? You should have withdrawn that access. Not that I'm saying, it's your own fault if your ex is driving you crazy, but also, if you haven't blocked him, if you haven't blocked the social medias, if you haven't blocked the phone numbers, then you're allowing these people access to you. So you need to, make that stand as well. And some people are very frightened of doing this. One, because they don't want to appear rude. Fuck that. Oh my gosh, if we just spent so much less of our life about worrying about appearing rude, we would be getting on so much better. They don't want to appear rude. Some people are just genuinely concerned that they will never have any more friends. I can guarantee you that is not true. 100%. So if you're dropping negative people, but you're going outside more, you're going to the gym, maybe you've joined a craft club, maybe you've joined a running club, maybe you've joined an online space where there are more like-minded people. These are going to be your new friends. These are going to be your new urban family, the people you choose to be close to. You don't have to deal with these assholes that just because they've been in your life for 10 or 15 years. The strangest things I ever see is, this is no judgment by the way, but just for me personally, these people who have had the same sort of clique of friends since they were maybe 6 or 7 years old, and they're in their 30s and 40s. And I mean, that's nice that you have that connection, but you know, there's other people in this world. You should be making connections with them as well. Yeah, for me, that's an odd one. But as I say, no judgment. It's great that you've got that connection that's lasted so long. But I feel like it's okay with like one or two friends. But if that's the only gang you've ever hung out with all your life, your sounding board, your echo chamber hasn't changed for 30 years. And that's important as well. You know, your echo chamber, the people you surround yourself with, you want those echoes back at you to be positive, to be good. So that's another reason it's good to get new and interesting friends, friends that are more on your wavelength. And these people won't exhaust you. These people won't take from you. I mean, I can't guarantee that every person you meet is going to be a good person, but I can guarantee that if you are miserable with the people in your life now, if you make changes, you can bring in new and better ones, and you don't have to deal with them anymore. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that. I am taking my own measurements in regards to this as well. Watch this space. But yeah, sorry it's been a few weeks again. You know me, I'm a little bit slack. Fully intended to work on holiday. I was going to record some podcasts. I was going to finish editing the workbooks. But to be honest, life has been so crazy. I just melted and relaxed, and it was fabulous. I really enjoyed myself. But yeah, now it's time to get back on it, I guess. So thank you all for listening. It's amazing that you all tune in. You know, if you are listening on Spotify or YouTube, please tag me in your Instagram post, because I love to see who is listening. Even if it's only a handful of you, you know, even if I help change that handful of yours lives, that's cool. That's cool. I haven't got to change a million people's lives, although that would be very awesome. But if I'm just helping a handful of people live a better way, I'm a happy woman. So have a great week. Let's hope I do manage to do an episode a week. I'll catch you all soon. Take care.